to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Or have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune into the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today is Friday, May 24, 2024. And welcome back, my beautiful people, to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I'm your host, Nyomi, and today we are diving deep into the power of reflection. You guys remember this month as our theme is about us using our words impeccably, and how better to start than with reflection. Reflection is not just a tool for self-improvement, but it is a gateway to profound self-awareness and transformation. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to dive more into this impeccable word reflection and see how we can use it impeccably throughout our lives. All right, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back. What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our website,
really
the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Let me ask you this, with the truth, is it...
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And May is all about using our words impeccably. And today, on this Friday, we choose the word reflection as our impeccable word today. So before we get into this word, let's begin with a short guided meditation, all right? All right, my beautiful people. All right, so close your eyes and take a deep breath. And as you exhale, I want you to let go of your day. With each inhale, I want you to draw in peace. And with each exhale, I want you to release tension. Allow yourself to come into this moment fully open to explore the inner world. I want you to reflect on the power of your words and consider how they can have the ability to shape your reality and impact those around you. I want you to visualize a golden light surrounding you, representing the energy of your words. I want you to imagine this light expanding with every positive and intentional word that you speak. As you focus on impeccable word reflection, I want you to affirm your commitments to speaking with kindness, honesty, and clarity in all of your interactions. Now take a moment to set an intention for how you will use your words constructively throughout today, cultivating the language of empowerment and encouragement. When you are ready, I want you to take one final deep breath and gently open your eyes, carrying this energy of this impeccable word reflection with you as you continue on this journey. All right. If you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, it's something that we do every day, Monday through Friday, to where we do a nice short guided meditation just to help center us before we get into the topic at hand. And the topic for today is reflection. It's reflection, that is our impeccable word. Remember, the month of May is all about using our words impeccably. And every day we've chosen a different word. So reflection wins today. So now we're going to talk about the power of reflection. The power of reflection. You see, reflection is our bridge to a deeper understanding and wisdom. It helps us to learn from our experiences and grow. And today we'll dive deep into how reflective practices can enhance our self-awareness and promote inner growth. You see, reflective practices can greatly enhance self-awareness and promote inner strength by providing a structured way to examine our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors. Now, I have some reflective practices that can help. One, it can increase our self-awareness by reflecting on our experience that allows us to gain insight into our values, our beliefs, and our strengths, and our weaknesses. You see, this increased self-awareness helps us to better understand why we react in certain ways, and it also enables us to make more conscious choices. You see, a while ago we had a topic about this, or how we can use old situations that we have, and I'm saying situation right now, my mind just got a little blah, but we use old situations that we had before that might seem like what's going on now. And when we go back to that time, and we, in our memory banker, we go back to that time and say, how did we get through that? How did we overcome that? In that situation, by reflecting back on that, that helps us for today. Does that make sense? That helps us for the situations that go on today. Emotional regulation. By reflecting on our emotions and the triggers behind them, we can develop emotional intelligence and learn to regulate our responses effectively. And this leads to a greater emotional resilience and stability. It also improves decision making. Reflective practices enable us to review past decisions and their outcomes. See, this retrospective analysis, it helps us to make a more informed decision in the future based on lessons learned from past experience. But also it enhances our problem-solving skills. Reflections allows us to look at challenges from different perspectives and consider alternative solutions. You see, this critical thinking, it fosters creativity and enhances problem-solving skills. But also it helps with building our resilience. Regular reflections on our setbacks and our failures can help us to develop a resilience by recognizing our ability to overcome obstacles and grow stronger from adversity. You see, it reinforces the idea that challenges are opportunities for growth, as well as clarifying our goals and values. Reflective practices help align our actions with our core values and long-term goals. So by evaluating whether our daily choices and behaviors are in line with aspiration, we can make adjustment to stay on track, as well as promoting mindfulness. Engaging in reflective practice cultivate mindfulness, the ability to be present and attentive in the moment. You see, this mindful fosters a deeper connection with ourselves and promotes a sense of inner peace and clarity. So in essence, reflective practices provide a space for introspection, self-discovery, and personal growth.
So by engaging constantly and consistently engaging in reflection, we can increase our self-awareness. We can strengthen our inner strength, and we can resolve and navigate life challenges with greater resilience and wisdom. All right, so I'm going to share a story with you. This experience showed me on how reflections can change our perception and enrich our journey. Now, I've shared this story quite a few times, and why I say this, because this is probably one of the first times that I truly realized my true meaning, or better yet, I realized it was more of my awakening moment. 4 years ago, right before the pandemic happened, it was January of 2020, and I can remember this day so well, like I've always said. It was on a Sunday, and it was early morning Sunday, and I remember I hadn't been feeling well anyway, but I couldn't go to sleep, and so I got up and I just started cleaning. But this is the crazy thing. Now that I sit back and think, I had been sick for a few weeks. I think I started getting sick around right before Christmas. Right before Christmas, I had started to get sick, and I remember in the beginning of the year going to the doctor, and I remember when they first started talking about COVID, right? And I remember going to the doctor then and telling her, I think it might be COVID. She said, "Oh no, it's not over here. And that's, no, we don't have any cases over here." So it's fine. So literally she had given me everything possible for what she thought that I had, right? And so I had been very sick. That morning I woke up in a sweat, but also I woke up in a way that I just started cleaning. And when I say I start cleaning out my closet. I start cleaning around my room, putting things in order, like doing like everything that was for a person that was as sick as I was. Like, where did this energy come from? Like, where did this energy come from? But in the process, as I am moving things and I am cleaning things, I have flashes of my life just go woof, woof, woof. And within those flashes that's happening in my life, and I see them all and they are revealed, I'm like, oh, that's why I went through that, because of that. That got me through that. That got me there. And so what that allowed me to do, it allowed me to see a reflection of my life. Like I said before, it was like a movie that I was able to see it. I cried in that moment. I laughed in that moment. I was thanking God in that moment. I was like, God, for real, in that moment. But my life made sense. And I know it's like really not, yes, it made so much sense. It made me understand why some of the things that I was going through. And it's like I came to a point to where I can understand those things now, where I was able to take those things unknowingly to myself, that I was able to take those experiences that I have to get me through another experience. But back then I wasn't actively reflecting on those things. They just was coming to me second nature. But in that process, there was no healing process in that. You understand what I'm saying? It was like doing it a repetitive thing. So now as I look back, I'm like, okay, that's what that was. So how can I make that better? So a situation like this might not come so quickly or at ease, or might not come at all. So now I'm better able to reflect back, okay, this happened before. You know those trigger moments that we have? Okay, why am I triggered in this way? Oh, this is why I'm triggered in this way. Because I felt this before. Where was I when I felt this before? Who was in my life when I felt this before? How does this, how can I stop that from happening? How can I change that mindset on where it's triggering me to where I don't go down this no more. Does that make sense? I hope I'm not losing nobody. But for that, I do a lot of reflecting. I cultivate a habit of making sure that I see things in a different perspective. That's what reflecting does for me. It better helps with my self-awareness. It helps me to overcome situations and obstacles. That's what it does for me. Now, I just wanted to share that little story with you right now, but we're going to come back and I'm going to, what I just talked about self-awareness and all that stuff, I'm going to give you some more things, all right? But let's do this. Let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to dive more into this. All right, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on this season of Self-Love Podcast, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Dog Pound Mike from Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Come check us out every week. And remember, I'm no relationship expert. I just tell it like I hear it from McKenna. Get back at it.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here from the season of Self-Love Podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love Podcast with myself, Naomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our website, the Season of Self-Love Podcast. Let me ask you this, with the truth, is it all right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks here on the Season of Self-Love Podcast. And May is all about using our words impeccably, and the word for today is reflection. And we are reflecting back today. All right, so in this segment, we're talking about techniques on effective reflection. Reflecting effectively isn't just about thinking over what happened. It's about engaging with our experiences on a deeper level. And I'm going to give you, a few things on how to cultivate that. One is writing down your thoughts, your feelings, your expressions in a journal. And this can help you to process them and more effectively. So you can use these prompts to guide you for your reflections or simple free write to explore your inner thoughts. As I mentioned before in previous episodes, that I have several different journals for separate different things in my life. I have one by my bed for when I wake up. Actually, I got two by my bed. I have one for my dreams and one just for my thoughts. Just for my thoughts when I'm laying there at night. Sometimes when I can't go to sleep or when I wake up in the morning, sometimes those thoughts that comes up. And then, of course, I have my dream book. Then in my Golden Rose room, I have two different books from there. Then right here in the studio, I have a book in here. So in several different rooms, I have a book because sometimes my thoughts just goes and I sit and write. I sit and write and reflect on things that's happening in the moment. A lot of times in the moment I do that, as well as mindful meditation. That's another one. Practicing mindful meditation, it allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. You see, this awareness, it can provide you insight into your patterns of thinking and behavior. Self-questioning. When I say I have those conversations with myself, and sometimes those conversations last for a while. Yes, that's called self-questioning. Asking yourself thought-provoking questions that can stimulate your deeper reflection, like, what did I learn from this experience? Or how could I have handled this situation differently? And your answer back would amaze you. Seriously. It's so funny when you think about it when you're younger and you see, and people say, you talking to yourself and you answer? You crazy. But honestly, don't we all got a little crazy in us? Like, to be honest, real. Sometimes we have to have those hard conversations with ourselves. For me, not only do I believe that it's self-awareness, but I believe it's taking accountability, taking ownership of your shit. And let me say this, because shit ain't always a bad thing. When I say shit, that means your entirety, both good and bad. The ugliness, all of it, the greatness, just owning all of that. That's when I say that, when I say owning your shit and looking at your shit. Yeah. And also regular reviews, setting aside time at the end of each day or week to review your experience. It can help you to identify patterns and success of your areas of improvement. This regular reflection, it can lead to continuous personal growth. Kind of do a check-in with yourself at the end of the week. Seeking feedback and actively seeking feedback from others can provide different perspective on your actions and your behaviors. Constructive criticism can offer value insights that may not be apparent to you. And let me say this with this, be very careful on who you are receiving feedback from and who you ask. And I'm very honest. This is where you have to be in discernment and understand that it's not a validation that you're looking for. You're looking for someone to just give you a different eye or a different perspective, on what you're just bouncing things off of them. Period. Someone who you truly trust and that understands you and come from a loving place and have good intentions with you. Visualization. I love this. Visualization is my theme. Visualization techniques, it can help you to reflect on future aspiration and goals. So by visualizing your ideal self or desired outcomes, you can clarify your priorities and take steps towards achieving them. When I say I love to visualize things, oh my God, I can sit in a room and I can vision and see what it's going to be. And when I tell you I get excited like, oh, that's what that looked like. That's what that feels like. Oh, that's what that's going to be. And it comes out like that. Because now you have conditioned your mind on what it looks like. So now that's what you want. That's the goal. That's what you want. So you want to see that comes to fruition. So my garden. And okay, I'm going to tell you about my garden. Last year I had, so let me say this, and I'm going to be honest. I visualized what my garden was going to look like. The small version of it. And I didn't go far enough with it because I was so fearful that the heat and the sun was going to dry out my garden. And so by me, I wasn't nurturing my garden. I was putting more fear in it than I was with the willpower of it growing. I kind of killed my garden before I even started growing it. So when I went into it this year, I went into it with a purpose. I went into it with a pure intention for it. It wasn't just to beautify. And last year it wasn't either, but this one, it had more meaning to me. And so now when I go out in the morning and I water it with intentions. And we talked about that a little bit yesterday. So I knew what my watering would do for it. I knew what my good energy would do for it. And I visualized what it was. I visualized those tomatoes. Big stalks standing up, I visualized my whole backyard on what it would look like. And now I see it. I see the first step. And they're growing and I can smell it. Yesterday I tasted what's it called? A stevia leaf. It's like a very sweet leaf. You taste it and it tastes like sugar. It's sweet. Tastes good, but it's healthy. I actually put it in. I made a fruit salad yesterday. One of my good girlfriends came by and we did a seeding ritual, her and I, and for the full moon, and it was great. And but I made that fruit salad, and it was so good. And I put the actually I'm gonna text her after we get and ask her if she had tasted it. And that's the thing too, is now I'm able to implement the things that I'm growing and I'm nurturing with my hand and with earth into my food. And so it's just making it just so much better for me. But what I'm saying to you all is that I visualize that, like, and I'm just using my garden as an example because that's my new hobby, and I'm so excited about it. And that has truly been a connection for me and my grandmother. All right. So moving on, because I can stay on this forever. So moving on, our artistic expression, engaging in creative activities such as drawing, painting, and music can be very powerful to reflecting on your emotions and experience. You know, when you hear those songs, and those songs take you back to that moment. That song take you back to that moment. And for me, music has been a part of my healing journey forever and a day, for all of my life. Music is my first love. Music is my first love. So when I hear these different music, whether it's R&B, rap, country, pop, the 80s music, it takes me back and I understand certain things, and they're healing moments for me. And sometimes I go into a dance that give me in that moment with my body just flowing and I'm just into it. I'm there. Yes. Another one that I've learned is painting. I remember when I was pregnant with my youngest baby. And I remember throughout that whole pregnancy, I was on bed rest, so I had anxiety crazy. And I'm the type of person that always need to do something, but I couldn't because I was literally on bed rest. I was told to have my feet elevated at least 10 hours of the day. And so the time that I was able to go around and walk, I spent that time creating something, painting. Yes, painting. Another one is peer reflection, discussing your thoughts and your experiences with trusted friends, a mentor, or a coach can provide external perspectives and support for your reflective process, and engaging in dialogue that can help you gain new insights and deepen your understanding. You see, these techniques can be adapted to suit your preference as needs. So you don't have to use them all, but try a few of them, one at a time. Try a few of them, one at a time. All right, now that we know our technique, well, first of all, let me do this. I'm going to do it in real time. I'm going to do this in real time. All right, so we're going to do a quick little practice, all right? And I just want you, as Dr. Will would say, get your purpose pen and purpose paper together. So what I want you to do, I want you to write these things down. First of all, I want you to think of a recent event in your life. And then I want you to ask yourself, write this down. What did this teach me? What did this teach me? And then, how has it shaped who I am? How has it shaped who I am? And take the weekend to think it over. Write it down. And if you want to share it with me, please email me. Email me if you want to share with me, or if you want to just keep it between you and you, that's fine. But with this is how we mine the gold from our life experience. You understand? So if you've never done that, you never reflected, this is the beginning. This is beginning. What did that recent moment teach me? And how has it shaped who I am? I believe it was yesterday I was talking about being sick, my sister and I. And I ain't gonna say a lot of time, majority of the times when there are things and situations that are happening in my life, I said, what is this? What am I to learn from this situation? How is this aligned to who I am today and what I'm going to be? What is this? And I tell my baby this all the time when he says that. So, okay, so now let's step back. All right, now, what have you learned? Is there anything that you've learned in that situation? And sometimes they be too hyped up. I say, wait, hold on. Let's take it back a little bit. All right. Sometimes I tell them, close your eyes. I want you to take a breath in, breathe. Now, in your head, explain what just happened. What's the scenario? And from that scenario, what did you learn from that? A lot of times we can't be quick to react to certain things. See, we've been learned to react quickly. But sometimes we have to pause and wait, like, hold on. Why is this happening? Okay, that's why that's happening. Okay, that means that I need to change or adjust something, right? Right? So with this will kind of help you to get through that. You know what I mean? To understand what that is. So instead of taking each circumstance as a bad circumstance, it might be a gift to you. We talked about this. It might be a gift to you. Make sure you don't miss out on that gift. Trying to figure out a response to it. Does that make sense? All right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break and then we come back. We're going to talk some more about this impeccable word, reflection. All right, it's your girl, Goddess NmW&x here on the Season of Self Love podcast. We'll be right back.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I had to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
Hey, it's your girl, Goddess NmW&x, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi and Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by me and Dr. Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to asknaomi.com and tell them Naomi sent you.
All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess NmW&x here on the Season of Self Love podcast. And today is all about reflection. All about reflection. All right, so let's talk about self-discovery through reflection. You see, every reflection has a step towards greater self-discovery. It's about understanding our motivations, our passions, and our fears. All right, so let's go back to our purpose pad and our purpose paper. I want you to write on your journal prompt. I want you to write about a time when you felt completely at peace. I want you to write about a time when you felt completely at peace. Now I want you to write what brought you there. What brought you there? You see, reflecting on these moments, they can illuminate what truly matters to us. Would you do this? This is where you're like, okay, this is where it's at. This is where you start tapping in. So take the weekend, however time that it takes. I want you to write those two down. I hope that you wrote those two things down and take the weekend to do it. Maybe go for a walk in the park, on the beach. Take your purposeful journal with you and sit down and write out the prompts that I gave you before, and then these two. And write. And this is a part of your reflecting here, your reflection, you reflecting back on your life. Now we're going to talk about applying reflection in decision making. Reflection also plays a crucial role in how we make decisions. So by looking back, we learn to do what? To move forward more easily. That's why those prompts. That's why those prompts. All right, so we're going to talk about cultivating a habit real quick for reflection. Building habits of reflection can transform a routine into ritual and turning everyday experiences into lessons. And here are 3 key things. I'm just going to give you 3 key things to help to build a habit of reflection into a ritual. Consistency. Consistency. I know that it is very hard sometimes, but establish a specific time and a place for your reflection ritual. Consistency is the key when forming a habit. So you try to incorporate reflections into your daily or weekly routine, whether it's at the end of the day, before bed, or during your morning routine. So having a set time of reflections can help to make it a habit. The next one is setting intentions. So before beginning your reflection ritual, set clear intentions of what you want or what you hope to achieve or gain from this process. This could be gaining an insight into your emotions, identifying areas of your improvement, or celebrating your accomplishment. But being intentional about your reflections, it gives you purpose and it makes it more meaningful. And the last one is journaling. Consider incorporating journaling into your reflection ritual. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences can help you to process them more effectively and track your progress over time. Remember, you can use the journal process that I just gave you to guide your reflection, or just simply write free. Just simply write that is on your mind. So remember, set aside time each day to reflect. Use tools like the journal or apps. Or just simply take moments to think back on your day before you sleep. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. You know, for these last 2 weeks, this is Mental Awareness Month. And we, you know how we opened up with a guided meditation. We want to kind of close our episode with, I just got a little brain fog right there. We're going to close it off with a nice guided meditation, all right? All right. Matter of fact, we're not going to take a break. No, we're not going to take a break. We're just going to pause for this moment. We're going to do it right now. We're going to do the reflection right now. All right. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to just imagine a mirror before you, reflecting not just your face, but your innermost self. And what do you see? What do you wish to see? And I want you to hold on to those thoughts as we go into this meditation, all right? All right? So I want you to close your eyes, all right? And I want you to bring your awareness inward. And I want you to remember those questions that I just asked before. Now I want you to begin reflecting on the experience that you've had and the lessons that you learned during this time. I want you to allow these reflections to surface without judgment, simply observing them with compassion. Now I want you to visualize yourself surrounded by a bubble of light, representing the growth and the transformation that you've undergone throughout this episode and through this week. I want you to feel the gratitude from the insights gained in the progress that was made. I want you to take a few more moments to express gratitude for yourself and the efforts that you've put forward. Now I want you to acknowledge your strengths, your resilience, and your willingness to embrace change. Now as you breathe deeply, I want you to release of any lingering doubts or fears And I want you to embrace a sense of peace and contentment in this present moment. Now, when you are ready, I want you to slowly open your eyes, and I want you to carry this energy of self-reflection with you as you transition back into your daily life, renewed and refreshed, all right? All right? All right, my beautiful people. Again, I thank you for just coming and spending this day with me, this time with me, this week with me. Now, as we close this episode, I invite you to set an intention for the rest of the weekend and start your week off on Monday with a great intention. And let it be something that encourages you to reflect, to grow, and to embrace all that you are. Again, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey today, and I want you to remember that each step that you take as a reflection is a step towards a more conscious and fulfilling life. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts with us. What did you reflect on today? How would you carry this forward, all right? Join us next time on the Season of Self-Love podcast for more exploration into living and loving with intention. All right, it's your girl, Goddess Nyomi Banks, signing off. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we hope that you enjoyed this fun filled with inspiration, empowerment, and self-discovery. Remember, practicing self-love is a journey and not a destination. For more information and to stay connected with us, visit our website at theseasonofselflovepodcast.com. And if you have any suggestions or questions or feedback, feel free to shoot us an email at seasonofselflove@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook for daily doses of self-love tips, motivation, and community support. So join our Facebook group, The Season of Self-Love, to connect with like-minded individuals on their journey to self-discovery and self-compassion. Thank you again for being a part of our community and dedicating to nurturing self-love and embracing self-worth. So stay tuned for more exciting episodes and guests in the next season. And remember, you are worthy of love, kindness, and all the happiness in the world. So until next time, take care of yourself and spread love wherever you go. See you soon.